Can you imagine working hard all your life, saving diligently, and doing everything right, yet financial security still feels out of reach? Well, if this feels like you, it's because it's not just about the numbers that makes you feel financially fit, but it's also about how intentional you are when it comes to your financial plans. And today in our financial freedom video, we're going to be diving into three essential components of financial wellness. So definitely stay locked in. Hi, my name is Carson Graves, certified financial planner and president and CEO of the Retirement Education Center.
And my name is Andrea Graves, Director of Operations at the Retirement Education Center. For additional concepts on how to maximize your retirement, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload new videos. We want to welcome you back to our channel. Well, Carson, for people aiming to take control of their finances and build a secure future, LIMRA, which is the largest trade association supporting insurance and financial service professionals like yourself, recently noted that there are three essential components of financial wellness to put people on the right track.
Yeah, that is true, Andrea. And yes, financial wellness, really isn't just about, having money in the bank. It's also about how you feel about that money in the bank. It's also about how you manage that money in the bank. And of course, it's also about what type of plan do you have for your finances as well, Andrea. Now, according to Limmer, like you mentioned, Andrea, financial wellness comprises of three main components that we're going to be talking about in our lesson today. And that's emotional confidence, that's also your current financial security, and also your future financial preparation as well. And we're going to be breaking down all three of these components today in our financial freedom video. And we want to encourage you to stick around to the end for the moral of this video, because I'm going to be providing you with some very valuable insight on how all of this information could impact you. But before we get into that, there are always two rules to retirement income that we like to give you. And Andrew, what are those two rules?
Well, rule number one is to never run out of money, and rule number two is to never forget rule number one.
Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into our lesson today and just break down these three main components that can be affecting your financial wellness. So, when we're talking about financial wellness and how you can become financially well, as I mentioned, one of those key elements that you're going to need is emotional confidence. And so, what is emotional confidence? It's really your mindset towards money. It's about feeling secure and informed in your financial decisions as well. So let's go ahead and take, for example, someone who's constantly reviewing their budget. They understand their expenses and they feel confident in making financial choices. So when you have someone who's taking a proactive approach like this when it comes to their money, it's going to reduce the stress that they have about their money. And of course, it's going to build emotional confidence. These are some actionable tips that you may want to consider in order to build emotional confidence. One, you definitely need to start by educating yourself on basic financial concepts. You can do that, of course, by, maybe taking a look at some online courses. You can start watching some free webinars. You can start downloading some financial apps as well. And certainly you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel because we have provided numerous videos on how to make sure that you're financially educated. And by watching those videos, you can absolutely build your emotional confidence when it comes to money. The second thing that you want to make sure that you identify in order to have financial wellness is to start to look at your financial security. When it comes to financial security, this is you assessing your present financial stability and your ability to meet immediate obligations. This is about feeling very secure and informed in your financial decisions. Now, someone who may identify as having financial security would be someone who has a steady income, they live within their means, they also have an emergency fund covering maybe 6 months or more in expenses. This is an individual who's prepared for any unexpected costs that may come about in any of our daily lives. So, how do you build financial security? Here's some actionable tips that you may want to take. The first thing you want to do is create a realistic budget. You can't create a budget that you just realistically cannot hit. It needs to reflect your actual income, your spending habits, and your goals. And you cannot be overly restrictive when it comes to creating a budget for yourself, because when you do that, it's just like someone who goes on a diet and they say immediately don't eat sugar, don't eat carbs, don't eat anything fried. Obviously, you're taking the fun out of living. So you have to make sure that you're not overly restrictive when you're starting to create, as we call, a realistic budget. Secondly, you need to prioritize paying off your high interest debts. You don't want to have a lot of money on credit cards or personal loans. These things are counterintuitive when it comes to you having financial wellness. As a matter of fact, these things will make you financially sick. And of course, last but not least, you need to aim to build an emergency fund covering anywhere between 6 and 12 months of your living expenses. I know that many people go by the minimum amount of savings that you need to have, such as 3 months of living expenses. But I'm telling you, with the interruption of AI that could be taking place and disrupting many people from their jobs, I am telling my clients that they should have on hand at least 6 to 12 months of living expenses to make sure that they're going to be financially well no matter what comes about in the future. And last but not least, when you're talking about financial preparedness, you want to try to look in the future to make sure you're going to be okay. When you're talking about future financial preparedness, this means simply planning for the future to make sure that you can have long term financial health. It's just that simple. So, what exactly does that mean? Well, let's just take a look at this final example today. This will be somebody who contributes to their retirement plan and they invest or save consistently on a monthly basis. And they set long term financial goals for themselves, like buying a home or funding their child's education or retiring at a set planned time. This individual is literally beginning with the end in mind. This is someone who would consider having a financial plan versus just having some type of sold financial product. You cannot use a product as a plan. Only a plan can allow this particular individual to be financially prepared for the future. So, what are some actionable tips that you should take in order to make sure that you're planning for the future? One, you have to be smart with your financial goals. And now, many people have seen this and understand this acronym, but that means that you need to be specific. Your goals need to be very measurable. They also need to be achievable as well. They have to be relevant, and you got to have a time associated with hitting that goal. Without those elements, without being smart, your financial goals are really more of a wish or a dream, and that's not what you need in order to be prepared for the future. Another point here, or another actionable tip that you're going to want to consider if you want to be financially prepared for the future, is to look at your retirement savings or your investment strategies on a regular basis to make sure you're staying on track. And that leads me to my final point today, and that is it would be so much easier for you to remain on track if you consider meeting with a certified financial planner in your area who can completely help you with all of these points that I've made today and make sure that everything is going to be geared towards your time horizon, your risk tolerance, and your long term financial goals.
All right, Carson. So, what's the moral of this video?
Well, the moral of this video is that achieving financial wellness isn't about perfection, Andrea. It's about making progress. And when you build emotional confidence and you're able to manage your current financial situation, and of course, you stay focused on your future goals, you're setting yourself up for a lifestyle of stability and freedom. And the way you go about this is that you start small, you stay consistent, and remember, you don't have to go at this alone. And we would like to hear from you as well. Please leave us a comment in the section below and let us know what small steps you may be taking right now to reach your financial goals. And as always, make sure you do reach out to a certified financial planner in your area to help you with these types of decisions.
After this video, please check out our other videos that will give you tips on how to maximize your retirement. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and remember, if you have questions,
we have answers. Please note that these videos are created for educational purposes only and that you should always seek out your own financial advisor, your own tax advisor, and your own attorney regarding your personal situation. Also, if you are looking for an independent fiduciary advisor to help you with these types of complex financial matters, we highly recommend that you utilize the links in our description below and go ahead and schedule a 1-hour free consultation with us today.